Imagine a futuristic city where self-driving cars glide smoothly through the streets, and smart homes monitor every corner and adapt to the needs of their residents. In the background, massive digital screens display information about the weather and transportation. Humans rarely appear, as if they are mere observers in a world controlled by artificial intelligence. Inside these smart homes, devices take over daily tasks, from preparing food and choosing clothes to planning the entire day. Technology is no longer just a tool. It has become a partner in our lives. At work, robots have replaced employees, and interviews are conducted through intelligent systems that evaluate us based on data. Do these decisions reflect our true competence, or has artificial intelligence decided our fate? As dependence on artificial intelligence grows, privacy gradually fades, and our daily decisions are out of our hands. Everything seems perfect, but a question lingers. Have we lost our role as decision makers? With this remarkable advancement, the inevitable question arises: is there still a place for humans in this world? On a new morning, Daniel wakes up in his bed to find his bedroom automatically lit. Next to his bed, a smart device displays the weather and sets the time, while smart cameras measure his health and decide on the perfect breakfast for him. On the table, the device shows the day's schedule on a transparent screen. In the kitchen, breakfast is automatically prepared by a smart device, while artificial intelligence selects the clothes he will wear. Daniel picks up his shirt and feels a mix of curiosity and anxiety. As technology swiftly responds to his needs, he smiles lightly, but the question lingers in his mind. Have we lost control over our choices? In this moment of hesitation, his new day begins, driven by the technological advancements surrounding him. Daniel stands in front of a large screen in the living room, where artificial intelligence displays a list of jobs selected for him based on his data. He carefully scrolls through the options, then realizes that one of them is completely unsuitable. A look of concern appears on his face as he touches the screen to interact with the system. Immediately, a text message appears on the screen, expressing sympathy from the system, showing regret for the wrong choice. But Daniel feels no genuine human emotion behind those words. He stands there in silence for a moment, deep in thought, wondering, what if life were all controlled by machines? Where do I fit in here? The questions swirl in his mind as the screen continues to display more options. Daniel enters his smart office where robots control everything. In the background, we see several robots working on large computers, scanning data and determining the actions to be taken, everything done with meticulous precision. There are no human employees here. Instead, robots move freely between the smart devices, coordinating together to execute tasks automatically. The screens display long lists of decisions being made automatically, all according to the artificial intelligence software managing the workflow. Daniel stands in the middle of this advanced world, observing his surroundings with a mix of awe and unease. He wonders about the role of humans in this world dominated by machines. With every step he takes inside this smart office, he feels as though technology has taken more control over his daily life, and he questions how much control he has over his personal choices. As he approaches the door, he briefly glances back at the office entirely run by artificial intelligence. He slowly exits, and the last thought echoing in his mind is, was there ever a place for humans in this future controlled by machines? Artificial intelligence manages everything. There is no place for humans here. In a smart office, Daniel sits with Sarah at a modern table, where an interactive screen displays all the data they need. While Sarah interacts with the screen in a programmed way, Daniel notices the sadness in her eyes, which show a longing for human connection. She seems distracted, her eyes fixed on the numbers and text on the screen, while robots behind them move, carrying a tray with 2 cups of drinks. The atmosphere is calm, but the tension between them is evident. Daniel watches her intently, then stands up suddenly, a look of confusion on his face. He approaches her, pausing for a moment, then asks quietly and with concern, Do you think we've lost something important? Daniel sits in a modern interview room, surrounded by many screens, waiting for his turn like the others. The atmosphere is calm, but filled with tension. On the screen in front of him, programmed algorithms scroll by, followed by a series of questions. He notices a name flash on the main screen, signaling that someone else has passed the interview. Daniel begins answering the questions, carefully selecting his responses. As he does, a robotic image appears on a side screen, and the system starts processing his answers. After a few moments, a message appears on the screen. You have been selected for the position. In the same room, many others are also having interviews, each on their own screen, with their results shown immediately after they answer the questions. Later, Daniel returns home and sits alone, lost in thought. A question lingers in his mind. Did I really deserve this job? Or was I just chosen by a system based on data? Daniel, a young man passionate about technology, enters his room and sits at his desk with enthusiasm. He begins browsing the internet, exploring various topics, but the atmosphere quickly shifts as threatening messages about data breaches appear on his screen. Reading the alarming content with growing anxiety, a pop-up window reveals details of stolen data. The screen displays images of individuals whose personal information has been leaked, highlighting the profound impact of these breaches on privacy. Daniel stares at the screen, his bright blue eyes filled with worry, before speaking in a low, distressed voice. Who will be held accountable? How can we ensure we haven't lost our humanity? The room falls silent, except for his quickened breaths, as he grapples with the scale of the disaster before him, contemplating its potential consequences. Daniel, a young man passionate about technology, enters his room and sits at his desk with enthusiasm. He begins browsing the internet, exploring various topics, but the atmosphere quickly shifts as threatening messages about data breaches appear on his screen. Reading the alarming content with growing anxiety, a pop-up window reveals details of stolen data. The screen displays images of individuals whose personal information has been leaked, highlighting the profound impact of these breaches on privacy. Daniel stares at the screen, his bright blue eyes filled with worry, before speaking in a low, distressed voice. Who will be held accountable? How can we ensure we haven't lost our humanity? The room falls silent, except for his quickened breaths, as he grapples with the scale of the disaster before him, contemplating its potential consequences. On a calm morning, Daniel smiles as he opens his door and steps out into the street. There are no self-driving cars or smart devices around him, just him and the nature that embraces him. The air is refreshing, and the sun rises gently, giving him a sense of inner peace. Daniel walks to the nearby park, where he sits under the shade of trees, trying to read some books. But as time passes, deep thoughts fill his mind. He gets up and walks around the small water pond in the park, his eyes settling on his reflection in the clear water. He stops for a moment, looks at himself in the water mirror, and slowly touches the water with his fingers. With a gentle smile on his face, he says, "You are the one who makes the decision. You are the one who shapes the future." In a world dominated by AI, what is the one thing you fear losing the most? Share your thoughts.